morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me for this video. So this morning I'm going to give you an initial review of the new NYX Crimson Amulet collection inspired by the movie Dark Shadows. This palette retails at Ulta for $24.99, but I'm pretty sure you can also get it from the NYX website. It's www.nyxcosmetics.com. So this is the box that it comes in. I've taken the palette out of it, and at the back of the box you can see what's inside the collection. So it comes with 24 eyeshadows, 5 blushes, a highlight, 4 lip products, an HD eyeshadow base, and an eyeliner. So here's the actual product. It kind of looks like a book, and it has a magnetic flap, and you open the first part and you'll see the 24 eyeshadows. The ones at the bottom are more of neutral colors, and the ones up top are more dramatic eyeshadows. And I'm actually wearing eyeshadows from this palette today. So all over my lids I have this burgundy shadow right here, and then on my crease I have this lavender looking eyeshadow just blended in and to soften the look. And then on the middle of my lid I just dabbed on this really light shimmery color just to give it that like shine or shimmer. And then on my brow bone I use the same shadow, this one right here, as a highlight, and as well as the inner corners of my eye. Based on my use of this palette last night, the shadows are pretty pigmented. They're very easy to blend. They last a long time, but I did use a primer. I used my Urban Decay Primer Potion in Sin. So here on my hand, I swatched some of the eyeshadows from the top 12 set. So right here, I have a dark purple color. And then here I have a bronzy, golden, orangey shadow. That's one of my favorites from this palette. And then beside it, I have a navy blue. This one's actually supposed to be a forest green, but it's coming off the same as the blue. And then right beside the forest green, which you can't really see with my camera and in this lighting, that's like a really pretty shimmery champagne color. So based on how they swatched, they were a little bit buttery, a little bit powdery, but still the color payoff is pretty good, as you can see on my lid. Here's a few swatches of the eyeshadows from the neutral group at the bottom. The first one is kind of not very pigmented and you can't really see it, but it's like an olive green color. This one right here is supposed to be a matte peachy color, but it's just not showing up that well. And then this one right here is supposed to be a dark matte brown. This one's a matte mustard color. This one is supposed to be a charcoal or gunmetal kind of color, and this one's just a shimmery white eyeshadow. And based on the swatches of the bottom row, they're actually not as pigmented and not as great in consistency compared to the eyeshadows on the top part of this palette. Overall, I would give the eyeshadows in this palette a B because they're not very consistent in terms of pigmentation and color payoff. Some of the shadows also tend to be a little bit too powdery for my liking, but I guess if you use a primer and you have enough time and patience to build these eyeshadows up, they are very buildable, they are blendable, and the color selection is pretty wide, but it's more of a neutral and nighttime look palette. We're gonna move on to the other section of this palette, which I love. So if you flip this book just like that, you will see the 5 blushes, the 4 lip products, the highlights, the HD shadow base, and the eyeliner. And right here on the side, you have 3 characters from the movie and a brief description of how to achieve their individual looks. Here's some swatches of all the 5 blushes and the highlight for you. This one up top right here is a matte baby pink blush. This one is a matte red blush, which I have on my cheeks right now. It's super pigmented, so use with caution, but it's really blendable, and it just gives your cheeks that nice red flush, just like Snow White's. And this one right here is a peachy pink coral blush with golden shimmer in it. This one is a light pink blush, more of a cotton candy kind of pink blush, also with golden shimmer in it, which you can't really see. And the bottom blush right here is a rosy pink blush, also with golden shimmer in it. I had to look at it again. And this one at the bottom is the highlighter, which I absolutely love. I have it on the tops of my cheeks right now. It's very, very subtle. It's not like MIlani because MIlani is more of a golden highlight. This highlighter is just more of your shimmery white kind of highlight, but it's not too shimmery. And this swatch is actually heavy, so you can just blend it out really nicely. These swatches that I've shown you aren't doing these blushes any justice. It's because of my lighting and my camera. It's not showing them very true to color. They seem a little washed out, but oh my goodness, these blushes are just fantastic. The pigmentation, the color selection, the color payoff, the blendability, they are just super pretty, and they're kind of better than my MAC blush, actually, in my opinion. So as you can tell, the blushes alone actually sold me on the palette, and that is the main reason why I bought the palette, because I was really curious about the red blush, and I'm really happy I got it. Pepper, my goodness, she's making so much noise. Anyway, I'm going to show you the eyeliner and the HD shadow base. So they're just minis, obviously. The eyeliner is a liquid eyeliner with that kind of brush. So if you're a liquid liner kind of girl, you might use this. But yeah, it's really dark. It's pigmented. It's nice. I haven't used it, so I can't really say much about it. And the HD shadow base is also super tiny. I wish it was bigger. And that's what the applicator looks like. It looks just like the applicator of the full-size HD shadow base. And I do like the NYX HD shadow base because it has a cream finish to it, so it gives your lids a smooth base for your eyeshadows. And last but not least, guys, I swatched all the 4 lip products here for you. So here they are at the bottom. My gosh, my lighting is horrendous. So this one looks like a red, this one looks like a carnation pink, this one looks like a hot neon pink, and this one's just a nude color. And let me show you what they actually look like on my skin. So this first one right here is a red, but it comes off more like a fuchsia on my skin tone. This one was the rosy color, and it does come off as a sheer rosy color. This is the hot pink one, and it does come off hot pink, just very sheer, and it really took me a while to build it up to that color. And this is the nude one, which I really like. It's so pretty. I'll be right back. I have a phone call. So I've applied the hot neon pink gloss on my lips, and it looks really sheer, and my lips are pretty pigmented, so the color is barely noticeable, but I do like it. Like, if you have enough patience to apply it, I think it's best to apply it with your fingers or with a brush or something. So you just pat the color on so it actually shows up kind of. But feeling it on my lips right now, it's not sticky and there is no bothersome odor, so it's a pretty good gloss. It's just that I wish it was a little bit more pigmented and that the glosses were in another section and not like in the same section as like blushes and stuff, because the powder will tend to fall on top of the lipsticks or the glosses, and yeah, they get kind of icky. But as you can see, they did come with a sticker on top, but the sticker was pretty hard to remove. That's why it took me a while to make swatches and everything. But yeah, if you want to protect the glosses, just keep that sticker on, but it will get messy eventually. Final words on the Crimson Amulet collection by NYX. I do like this palette, and for $24.99 you get a lot of product, a lot of good quality blushes, a really nice highlight, some pretty glosses, and some fairly decent eyeshadows. Plus you get a shadow base and a liner. And the liner, it doesn't rub off. Although the concept kind of reminds me of the Urban Decay Book of Shadows 4, I do prefer this palette just because of the blushes, and I really don't use my Book of Shadows 4 that much, so just the blushes alone will give me my money's worth. And that was my review on the NYX Crimson Amulet collection inspired by the movie Dark Shadows. I'm actually really excited to see this movie because one of my favorite actors, Johnny Depp, is in it. So yeah, looking forward to that. I do recommend this palette. If you have $24.99 to spare and a 20% off coupon from Ulta, then definitely check this palette out. And if it doesn't work out for you, you can always take it back as long as you keep your receipt. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll see you again soon. Bye. And that was my review on the NYX. Oh,